All right, y'all. So today we're gonna do a little something different. We're actually gonna react to a video by Focus. It's actually from a movie, and the movie will be posted at the end because the website is different now. So I did look at the website, and I did put the correct website at the end, so you'll see it on this video. But let's go ahead and press play. And what we're doing is looking at Focus's creative process as far as going from the MPC and then actually adding the bass line to his beat. So we're going to go ahead and click play. Right here.
My name is Focus. I'm part of the Aftermath crew. That's Dr. Dre. My father is Bernard Edwards from the group Chic. He did songs The Freak, Good Times, I Want Your Love, and pretty much grew up in it.
All right, so before I go, again, just thinking about what he just said, his father is Bernard Edwards from Chic. Like already he has musical talent as is. So for him to still use an MPC, because I know a lot of people when they talk about the I guess samplers or people sampling, that people who sample are not musical or people who sample has no talent. He grew up with like a person who made bangers, a person who made absolute great music with Chic, like him, Niles Rogers, the bass and that guitar. A lot of those melodies, like yeah, we get the song right. We get the what's the is it Freak Out and I Want Your Love? Well, yeah. So those two songs, like those are timeless for me. They're timeless songs. These are songs that top charts. I feel like if they re-release the songs, like these will be on the Hot 100. Like that's how good they are. So for him to come from that lineage, I'll say it does fights the argument that people who sample are not talented. But as 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 we look at the video, I just want y'all to think about that. So let's go ahead and press play.
I stay with the same team of engineers. We pretty much began our relationship here. We understand this room. I understand what I need. They understand what I need, and it works here.
And I actually do want to go back right quick. Let's go rewind back just a little bit. Yeah, let's look at the mixing board. The last time, actually, wasn't that long ago. It was a few months ago. I saw the SJ9000. Yeah, so I saw the J9000 at Patchwork Studios, and it's huge. That was my first time looking at that caliber of a mixing board. I used to do mixing when I was at church. When I was a teenager, I used to actually, well, not do mixing, but I was in the mixing room. I was actually doing the CDs, audio distribution, where I made the CDs. I know how to press CDs, all that. And maybe, just maybe, if somebody need a mic turn on, I'll turn on the mic or get another mic or whatever. But one thing you never do, I'll say this, and we're gonna hit play. One thing you never do, don't touch. If somebody's mixing, if the mixing engineer has your mixing board a certain way, you don't touch whatever's on that mixing board. Leave it alone. Let him do all the work, because they will get mad. That has never happened to me, but I've seen, even at church, even during worship, where somebody will get a little frustrated. I'll say that. So no cussing nothing, but they'll get a little frustrated. But that it is a sight to see. Just to see that mixing board and just to see what all it can do. As you go on through your audio engineering production process, you see like those are beasts. Let's go ahead and clip play.
What I need, they understand what I need, and it works here. I'm from New York originally, so our beats out there were really sample driven. Sometimes I do sample, but I try my best to stay away from it because I just know it's a pain.
I mean, he already getting the groove. That's why I like he's already getting his groove.
I go from either the record player or the CD, but we have it hooked up into a mixer, so we go straight from the mixer into. I believe it comes to the board, right? It comes to the board.
All right. That's something I do want to talk about. Let me pause that real quick. Something I do want to talk about. So I've done this, and again, I've done stuff without knowing other people do this, and that kind of does excite me, knowing that great minds do think alike. Great minds definitely do think alike. But I do the drum and snare. When I do my beats, I actually do perform the drum and snare. But sometimes I sequence it, right? Because it is equal. It is. Dang, what can I say? It is easier to sequence than to just do your own, drums and snare, which I do both. But what I definitely do, and I don't sequence at all unless maybe it's a roll, right? Unless you hit those rolls, is the hi-hat. I like the tip. If y'all don't know, and y'all probably do, especially a lot of seasoned veterans, 16 levels with hi-hat will make your hi-hats realistic. Because that's, if you think about it, that's what drummers do. They'll tap on the outside, tap on in, tap on outside, tap on in. But with that, it does create different sounds, but it creates different levels of volume. And you'll get that human touch when you do 16 level with your hi-hats. But that's just something everybody should know. So let's go ahead and hit play with this.
Sticky as you got it.
It's what?
Sticky as you got it, like a nice, like real tight. Hit me. Thank you.
Brian pretty much has a collection of everything, and that's his stuff, And if there's something that I can't find immediately, he's definitely given me the honor to use some of his stuff.
Yeah. And it's like something simple, a little simple hi-hat.
I'm an old school cat, and it's hard for me to get into the computer stuff. I know what I like and I know what I want, and I pretty much like to touch it.
All right, pause. So that's cool. Like, it's cool that, again, it's still, although I'm gonna say, everybody will get mad at me. NPCs from I guess its inception, it's a MIDI device, so it's computer. Like it is a computer. I get what you're saying as far as like not being inside of a DAW, right? Because people always hate on FL Studio. Some people actually do hate on Ableton though. Side note, what's his name? Damn. Side note, I'm trying to figure it out. What's his name? Guru. He actually, young Guru, he actually does use Ableton to produce. And Ableton is, it's a beast on his own. Also, FL Studio is a beast on his own. For me, as far as DAW creation, right, or as far as music creation inside of DAW, I don't have a problem with it. I started on FL Studio, mouse and keyboard, clicking around and stuff. But what got me even more into music production when I found out, because I didn't know about MPCs in high school. I didn't. I just knew FL Studio. I knew I take that back. I knew two things, right? Because people were still hating on FL Studio then too. Because they was calling it Fruity Loops. I guess it was called Fruity Loops at one point. But they was hating on FL Studio, calling it Fruity Loops. It was a lot of people using Reason back then. And it was basically, I get why now they love Reason, because it did simulate a realistic studio environment as far as like plugging in into the outboard gear. You can actually plug into the outboard gear in Reason. But for me, again, going back to like DAWs and FL Studio, I use mouse and keyboard, but then I bought last year, around August of last year, I actually bought the FL Studio key, and that helped me. That opened doors as to the possibilities I could create music. Because again, it's nice to have the digital music, but then I like the tactile function of music creation. I was a bass player since I was 12 or 13, sixth grade, but it was around sixth grade. I was a bass player. I played guitar when I was in high school. I bought an electric guitar 4 years ago. But all that I like using my hands when I play. I do like that. I do like that feeling, and that does something else when you're creating music besides just clicking and dragging. Again, there's nothing wrong with it for me originally, but then it didn't. I wanted to play. I'll say that. I just wanted to play. I wanted to feel like I could play. And now since I add the FL keys and even I got a rolling piano, so I have all that, and I love making music, and especially with MK3 is my go-to. I have the FL controller, but the machine or the machina, whatever you want to call it, MK3 is my go-to for all my beats because it's fun being able to actually perform the beats and go through it. Does it make you feel like you're playing just a little bit? But yeah, but that's besides the point. I know y'all ready to get back to the video, but let's go ahead and play it. Oh, he's about to get on the bass. And he's just jamming. Alright, getting that slap in. And that's how you know he's a real bass player. This is how you know he's a real bass player. Yeah. 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 And I want to say, is that a Fender? It looks like a precision bass. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Yeah, just that last one.
But yeah, it's like he's a real bass player. You can tell. You can just tell the experience. There are tips and tricks certain bass players do know how to do that lets you know they're a pro. It lets you know they've been doing this for a while. Even church musicians. I didn't go to a church that had musical instruments. Again, that's another conversation for another day. But before I went there, I went to a Baptist church, and you could tell like they jam. They jam. If you go to live performances, I went to Thundercat, like just an amazing bassist. But there's certain things And you can tell his musical background, his musical pedigree was just that snippet. I mean, it may not seem like a lot to you, but coming from somebody who pays attention to people, like to the musicians, to producers, like that's a lot. Just the little tidbits, and it does make the groove sound better when you do know about the slaps, about sliding, like just stuff, just little stuff like that. Again, it's more about musical dynamics. Let's go ahead and hit play and get to towards the end of this video.
Maybe I'm not getting it from the place.
And all they're doing is probably just making sure everything's clear.
Oh, okay, right here. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like 23 seconds.
23 seconds?
Yeah. Will it take it?
Sure. Let's do it.
I don't want to mimic Dre, but I do find myself a lot of times trying to impress him, so I'll kind of dig into what he's done. But you learn a lot about EQ, you learn a lot about sound, because he's very particular. We try to get at least 10, 12, maybe 15 beats. We get them up and running, and we put them on a CD. And I go over there and I present it to him, see what makes him nod, you know what I'm saying? He has this thing where he puts thumbs up. Anytime you see thumbs up, that's a good sign. And, I let him take it from there, because he understands the vision of what he's putting across in Aftermath. That's his legacy, and I'm just honored to be a part of that,
So, did not want to do that. Let's go back. Pause this. Okay, so one thing, he was talking about Dre and basically doing a Dre check. That's what I'm gonna call it, doing a Dre check. Because it's one thing to be an engineer, right? Or to be a producer. It's another thing to be a engineer and producer under Dr. Dre. That's a lot of experience already in itself. But Dre is one of the greatest producers. And it's not just because of his composition. It's because of his audio engineering ability. Like that dude, again, go listen to Chronic. And everybody's saying like that is the go-to if you want to know a perfect reference. Not Chronic. That is a good reference, but Chronic 2001, that is like the perfect reference of what a hip-hop album should sound like. As far as the EQ, as far as the compression, you get them drums hitting, even the sonics. Like when you hear an instrument that's supposed to be in the high end of the frequencies, you hear those frequencies clearly, as well as the low end. We talking about kicks, we talking about the bass. You hear that in, and you always hear the mids with the vocals, right? With the vocals, and then some other guitars or whatever the engineer wants to sit in the middle. The guitars can sit into high end, but that's beside the point. But yeah, and you doing a Dre check, and Drake gives you a thumbs up. Like nobody really talks about Focus, but Focus he's a great producer, and the fact that his daddy was in Chic, his daddy made great music, and then he's under Dre. And this dude is not talked about is a travesty. It's a travesty. But yeah. So I'll just say that. And for the website, so originally the website they had their own website, I guess, but it's not up anymore. So what I did was I edited the video, so I put the correct website on top. Again, you can go to westcoasttheory.vhx.tv, and it's up there, and you can go get the documentary. This is what this video is from. I don't know what comment is, but that's what it was using back in the day. And with that being said, this is another reaction. I'll continue to do more reactions going forward, as far as just instead of just sending you the video. So hopefully you like it. And if you like it, I hope you subscribe. I want to build this community so we can converse a lot more. I'll bring more videos. I'll bring more music, especially my own music, because again, I produce too. So I want to be able to give you guys some tips, but also, give you some good little entertainment, bring some discussion, creating a hip hop community, because that's what this is. This is a hip hop community. We'll cover pretty much production, mainly production, but then also, add on some other hip hop elements, because I love hip hop. I'm passionate about hip hop, and I want to get around other people who are passionate about hip hop. But with that, I am signing off, and I'll see you next video.